Hi guys, how are you? Hope you're fine. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different from what we are used to. Because since on my last episode, I asked you guys what you were most scared of. So we could do a discussion about those afraids and everything. But I received a lot of comments saying that you guys are most afraid of changes. So I thought about journeys of transformations being today's topic. Because on journeys of transformations you pass through a lot of changes and you have to deal with it. So at the end you probably have to change our attitudes, our point of views to deal with that. And at the end, you end up a different person at the end of the journey of transformations. So I thought about bringing a story today to explain more about journeys of transformations. And so you guys could get a little bit inspired by that and see that that's okay to change. So a little bit of about context is that the story is about a man, a 40, a 47-year-old man who got divorced and then that changed his life forever. Like he passed through a journey of transformation after that divorce. I thought that this story might be interesting because since it's divorce and it happens a lot of families and it can be really difficult some, I thought it could be a really good story to bring here. Since some people can relate to it or understand a little bit from what the man was feeling or the family. So his journey of transformation started around January 2020 when his wife asked for a divorce because it was the best choice on her perspectives since the family wasn't stable anymore and any one of them were happy anymore and they were having a lot of conflicts. So the mom decided that the best choice was to divorce. And as pandemic came along and they were broke because he had lost his job 1 year before, they had to stay living in the same house for 6 months, even after they weren't together anymore. So that still caused a lot of conflicts during the house. And in July of 2022, he was sure that they were definitely going to get divorced, and the documents were able to really be assigned because the pandemic were down, like were a little bit more safe out there. So he was even able to get a job in Porto Alegre, which made him, which was a good decision for him. So he could get out of the house now that these papers were signed, and that was able to start a new chapter on his life. He stayed in Porto Alegre for 6 months, where he was able to reflect a lot on his actions and things that led to divorce and how the things were going, his children, his ex-wife, and everything. But as he was working as a consultant on the company that he was working, he completed his job there, and he so the job ended. So he came back to São Paulo on December, and he stayed on his sister's house for a couple of months until he got a new job and could get more financially stable. And after he got a new job in São Paulo, he was able to afford a apartment for him to live. So it was good because he could have his children at home more often and everything. He decided to start running too because he needed to do an exercise because his health was bad. So he started running and he fell in love with it. And this was a big part of his change that still motivated him to do things. As he finished his other job São Paulo, he was able to get another job and he got a job in Rio de Janeiro. So he would go to Rio de Janeiro for some days and come back to São Paulo and do this routine for some months. And it lasted for a year, which was good because it lasted more than it was expected on the contract, but it was good. And during this period, he even stopped smoking and drinking because mostly of his running routine because he wanted to be more athletic. He even ran a half marathon. He stayed with that routine for 1 year, and around like July 2023, his contract on the job finished. He had accomplished what he needed to do in that company, so he was sure now that chapter of his life was gone, and as his chapter of tea and him in that apartment was gone too. He was sure that he was a better person after those couple of years, and that he was ready for start a new journey of transformation, in which he decided to go to New Zealand to look for better opportunities and a good start to learn English. So now he's in New Zealand working on his new journey of transformation. And if you're wondering if he ever had a girlfriend during this time, yes, he had three. In each year, he had one girlfriend. Yes, he couldn't spend more than 1 year with the person. I know that's crazy. He got his first girlfriend on July 2020, some days before he went to Porto Alegre. But she lived in São Paulo and went to Porto Alegre a few times to see him. But after he went back to São Paulo, he decided that it was enough. Both decided it was enough and that they really make more sense together. But as we are telling the whole story now, it was her who broke up with him. Uh, the second girlfriend he had was in 2021, when some months after, and when he was already in his apartment working and learning and everything. He stayed with her for a couple months, but he didn't like her so much, so he broke up with her some months after. The third girlfriend was the one that lasted the most and the one that he had the best relationship of the three and everyone, because he had learned a lot from the previous ones. So, and she was a really good person and she really liked him. She was in love with him and loved him a lot. And they stayed together for 1 year and a half almost, because they started dating in 2022 and it lasted to July 2023. Yes, it's really recent, this relationship. It was good because she's from Rio, so she went to Rio a couple of times with him, and uh, on his point of view, it was one of the best relationships out of the three, because she helped him a lot to go through things, um, with like problems in his life with like his son and everything, and he helped her a lot because she hadn't had a relationship for like 9 years, and both of them really improved together. But he broke up with her when he decided that he wanted a new journey of his life and he wanted a new direction on his life too. So yeah, that was it. He broke up with her, and he's starting his new journey on New Zealand, and let's see where this is gonna go, like where this is gonna lead him. So we hope it's a good way, right? But that's it, guys. That's the whole story. He was able to improve a lot during this journey. He was able to see the mistakes that he did, and he was able to stop victimizing himself a lot and learn from the mistakes. And he was able to improve and be a better person and allow himself to have new experiences. And yeah, so remember, guys, that it is okay to change. You don't have to feel guilt about it, and that changes can be scary, but you're gonna go over it and you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna have lots of good moments throughout it, and it's gonna be worth at the end and really satisfying. So hope you guys could get a little bit of motivation After this, say in the comments what you guys think of this format of podcasts, and let me know what you want for the next episode. Thank you. Bye. Have a wonderful day.